All cadets evacuate immediately. Containment breach Sector 7. Senior combat instructor Calthas's voice cracked across the training arena's emergency channel, his mandibles clicking in panic as the 800-kilogram Thoraxian war beast tore through the reinforced barrier like tissue paper. The creature's 6 legs thundered against the deck plating, each impact registering on the facility's seismic sensors as it locked onto the nearest target and charged. That target was human Cadet Emma Martinez, who stood in the center of the combat assessment zone, looking more confused than concerned. "Martinez, move!" Calthas slammed his manipulator appendage against the emergency stasis controls. Nothing. The system required 8 seconds to charge. The beast would reach the human in 4. "Activate your personal shield." "Wait, you want me to run from it?" Emma called back, tilting her head as the massive predator barreled toward her at 40 kilometers per hour. Its armored hide gleaming under the arena lights, razor-sharp talons gouging trenches in the deck. Around the observation platforms, alien cadets from 17 different species scrambled for the exits. A Valixian student's mathematical cortex automatically calculated the impact force, 12,000 newtons, minimum. Enough to pulverize most spacefaring species into paste. Human bone density rating, 0.67 on the Galactic Standard Scale. Human muscle tensile strength, 0.71 GSS. Human survival probability, 0.003%. "She's going to die," someone whispered through their translator. "Why isn't she moving?" Medical Officer Azila appeared beside Calthas at the control station, her chromatic scales flashing distress colors. According to YouTube analytics, 98% of viewers are not subscribed. That's a huge number. By subscribing the channel that is completely free, instructor, her bio signs show confusion, not fear. Does she not understand? "Martinez has full marks in xenobiology," Calthas interrupted, his eyes locked on the human. "She knows exactly what that creature can do." He'd seen Thoraxian war beasts crush combat mechs. He'd watched them tear through reinforced starship bulkheads. And this one was trained, augmented, designed specifically to test cadet response times to overwhelming force. The correct response was immediate evasion. Every species in the known galaxy agreed on this fundamental principle. Emma Martinez planted her feet and raised her hands like she was about to catch a ball. "What is she doing?" Calthas hit the emergency override, trying to activate the backup containment fields. 2 seconds until impact. The stasis field was still charging. "Martinez, that creature weighs 800 kilograms. "Oh!" Emma's face brightened with understanding. She flexed her fingers experimentally. "Okay, yeah, that's like... what, 1,300 pounds? Got it. 1,300... Azila's translator struggled with the human measurement system. "She cannot possibly, the impact force alone." The Thoraxian war beast crossed the final 10 meters in a blur of armored fury, talons extended, jaws wide enough to swallow. A Valixian whole. Its battle roar triggered automatic sound dampeners across the facility. Impact in 1 second. 0.5 seconds. 0.2. Emma caught it. Her hands locked onto the beast's shoulders as it slammed into her, and the sound that echoed through the arena wasn't the wet crunch of human bones shattering. It was the sharp crack of deck plating fracturing beneath Emma's boots as she absorbed 800 kilograms of charging predator without moving backward a single centimeter. The seismic sensors went insane. The observation deck fell into absolute silence. Emma Martinez, 68 kilograms of human cadet, held a fully grown Thoraxian war beast at arm's length while it thrashed and snarled and tried desperately to reach her with its talons. Her arms didn't shake. Her breathing didn't change. She looked up at the stunned instructors with genuine concern on her face. So, where do you want me to put it?" Calthas's primary and secondary brains both flatlined simultaneously. In his 23 years as a combat instructor, across 47 worlds and 19 major military operations, he had never seen any biological organism, without powered armor, without enhancement augmentation, without even a personal shield, simply catch a charging Thoraxian war beast. It was physically impossible. The math didn't work. The human shouldn't still have arms. Instructor? Emma's voice carried clearly across the silent arena. This thing is getting really squirmy. Should I just set it down somewhere or... The war beast, designed to tear through starship hulls, struggled uselessly in her grip. Azila's medical scanner fell from her limp appendages and clattered on the deck. The structural integrity sensors... Caeltas stared at his display, his vocal sac inflating and deflating rapidly. They're registering force distribution patterns that require a minimum mass of 3,000 kilograms. Martinez masses 68. The Thoraxian war beast writhed violently, its tail whipping around to strike Emma's ribs with enough force to dent starship armor. She didn't even flinch. Okay, so, I'm guessing you don't have a cage ready. Emma shifted her grip, holding the creature like someone might hold an oversized, very angry cat. Because it's starting to smell like wet dog and I've got quantum mechanics in 20 minutes. Martinez, do not... Emma lifted the 800-kilogram beast overhead in one smooth motion. Azila's bioscanner emitted a distressed beeping. Impossible. Impossible. Her bone density registers at 0.67 GSS. The compressive load on her skeletal structure should be causing catastrophic failure. Her femurs should be powder. The human slammed the war beast down onto the reinforced deck plating. The impact sounded like a starship collision. The deck plating, rated to withstand direct hits from Class 7 plasma artillery, cracked in a spiderweb pattern, radiating 3 meters from the point of impact. The creature hit with such force
that it bounced slightly before settling into the newly formed crater, completely unconscious, its breathing shallow but steady. Emma dusted off her uniform and examined a small tear in her sleeve. Aw, man, this is my good jacket. In the observation deck, a Velixian cadet's mathematical cortex made a sound like grinding gears. She countered 12,000 newtons, then generated enough downward force to exceed the plating's threshold rating of 45,000 newtons per square meter. That's... His eye stalks swiveled frantically between his calculations and the human below. That's 17 times her body mass worth of applied force. Check your math, a Krillian student frantically tapped at her own datapad.
You must have made an error. I triple-checked. The impact force, the momentum cancellation, the lifting mechanics, none of it should be possible with her muscle cross-sectional area. Caeltas activated his emergency channel. I need physics instructor Zilax to the combat arena immediately, and get xenobiology head Lirana, and someone from engineering, whoever's available. This is... He watched Emma crouch beside the unconscious beast, checking its breathing with the casual competence of someone who'd done this before. This is a code paradigm situation. A code what? Azila looked up from her scanner. Instructor, that classification hasn't been invoked in 40 years. Our entire understanding of human physical capability is clearly wrong. Caelthas's display showed Emma's bio readout. Heart rate slightly elevated, breathing normal, muscle temperature barely above baseline. She'd just stopped a charging war beast and her body was treating it like a warm-up exercise. Look at her readings. She's not even winded. Emma stood up, noticed the crater, and winced. Oh, yikes. Sorry about your floor. Is that, like, expensive to fix? She walked toward the observation deck, her boots crunching on fractured plating. Should I fill out an incident report or something? Caeltas's translator struggled to find words. You're concerned about the floor? Well, yeah. Emma looked genuinely apologetic. I mean, I didn't know it would crack. Usually training equipment is more durable. She paused, glancing back at the unconscious war beast. Hey, just checking. That thing's gonna be okay, right? I didn't want to hurt it. Didn't want to... Azila made a sound like choking. Cadet Martinez, that creature was designed to be unkillable. Its hide can withstand small arms fire. You just rendered it unconscious with blunt force trauma. Oh, Emma brightened. So it's fine then? Cool, cool, she laughed, the sound echoing strangely in the still silent arena. You guys seriously thought that would hurt me? I played rugby at University of Texas. Trust me, this is way lighter contact than a normal Saturday match. She rolled her shoulder experimentally. Although I'll admit, catching something that big while it's moving is trickier than a tackle. Had to really brace for it. Physics instructor Zilax burst through the observation deck entrance, his breathing apparatus wheezing. Who invoked code paradigm? What fundamental law of physics has been... He looked down at the arena, at the crater, at the unconscious war beast, at the human casually stretching like she'd finished a light jog. Oh no. Oh yes, Kael'thas said grimly. Tell me I'm not insane, Zilax. Tell me what I just watched makes sense. The physics instructor pulled up the sensor logs, his manipulators trembling as he scrolled through the data. His color shifted from confident blue to confused purple to deeply alarmed crimson. This, he finally said, should not be possible. According to every physical law we understand about biological limitations, human Cadet Martinez should currently be a small smear on the deck plating. Instead, he looked at Emma, who was now examining her torn sleeve with more concern than she'd shown the charging predator. Instead, she appears to have treated a lethal force impact as a minor inconvenience. Emma looked up. Wait, lethal? You guys thought that would kill me? She laughed again, harder this time. What kind of humans have you been studying? Academy Commander Vexthul arrived 15 minutes later, his ceremonial combat ribbons swaying as he moved with forced calm through the observation deck. Behind him trailed the heads of 4 different departments, all speaking at once. Explain, Vexthul said simply, his compound eyes fixed on the crater below. Kael'thas pulled up Emma's training file on the main display. Human Cadet Emma Martinez, admitted to the Academy 8 months ago as part of the Terran Integration Program. Current performance ratings. He hesitated. All physical assessments flagged her as physically inadequate for combat specialization, recommended for technical or support roles. I see, Vexthul studied the file. And yet she just defeated a Thoraxian war beast in unarmed combat. Defeated is understating it, sir. Zilax brought up the sensor replay. She stopped its charge through pure physical resistance, then generated enough force to create a crater in Class 9 reinforced plating. The math indicates she's operating at approximately 17 times her mass-to-force ratio. Xenobiology head. Lir'ana leaned forward, her feathers ruffling in agitation. Commander, I need to review the baseline data we've been using for human assessments. Something is fundamentally wrong with our calculations. Show me. Lir'ana pulled up the galactic standard classifications. When humans first made contact, we assessed their homeworld using our standard protocols. Earth's gravity measured at 1.0 g, which we cataloged as baseline normal. A light world classification by Council standards. That's correct, Vexthul confirmed. I reviewed those reports myself. That's the problem, sir. Lir'ana's voice went quiet. Our baseline normal is calculated from the Galactic Council average. Most spacefaring species evolved on worlds ranging from 0.6 g to 0.85 g. The mathematical average is 0.73 g. She highlighted the number. We've been treating 1.0 g as normal because it's a convenient whole number for our measurement system. But compared to most species, she trailed off. Earth is a heavy world, Zilax finished. 37% higher gravity than the galactic average. The observation deck fell silent. Emma's voice crackled over the comm. Hey, can I go get changed now? I've got that quiz in quantum mechanics and Professor Jotaro gets really snippy about tardiness. Vexthul activated his microphone. Cadet Martinez, please remain in the arena. I have questions. Sure thing, Commander. Emma sat down on the edge of the crater, legs dangling. What's up? Your training records indicate you struggled with our endurance assessments, multiple failure marks. Emma snorted. Yeah, because they were boring. You had us running on those treadmills for like 20 minutes and called it an endurance test. I do an hour minimum back home. I figured you guys had different standards or something, so I stopped when everyone else did. Kael'thas felt something cold settle in his primary stomach. You weren't exhausted? From a light jog? No? Emma looked genuinely confused. I mean, I thought maybe alien species just didn't do a lot of cardio, didn't want to be rude about it. The strength assessments, Azila said weakly. You maxed out at 45 kilograms on the resistance apparatus. That's barely above the minimum standard. Oh, that, Emma laughed. Yeah, that machine seemed kind of flimsy. I didn't want to break it. The equipment here all seems really delicate, like it's made for lighter use, so I've been going easy on everything. Vexthul's claws tightened on the railing. You've been holding back? Well, yeah, I broke a chair my first week just by sitting down normally, figured I needed to be more careful. Emma shrugged. Plus, everyone kept talking about how humans were the fragile new species that needed special accommodation, so I thought maybe I was like the strong one comparatively, didn't want to make other cadets feel bad. Lirana made a sound like a dying atmospheric processor. Commander, if Earth's gravity is 37% higher than our baseline, then human muscle density, bone structure, cardiovascular capacity, everything would be proportionally enhanced for operations in what they consider normal conditions. Our normal is their low-gravity environment, Zilax added, his color now a sickly gray. We've been testing them in conditions they would consider, what's the human term, easy mode. Emma perked up. Wait! She stood, walked over to a wall panel, and pulled up the Academy's planetary database. You guys think Earth is a low-gravity planet? She scrolled through the listings, her eyes widening. Oh my God, your homeworld is 0.71, Instructor Kael'thas, and yours is 0.68G, Commander, and she turned to face them, her expression shifting from confusion to dawning horror. You've all been living in what we'd call reduced gravity your entire lives? That is correct, Vexthul said slowly. And you designed all your physical training protocols based on your normal gravity levels? Yes, Emma started laughing, not the polite chuckle from before, but genuine, gasping laughter that echoed through the arena. Oh no, you guys have been testing us in like 70% gravity conditions and wondering why we seemed weak. She doubled over, hands on her knees. No wonder everyone kept saying humans couldn't cut it in combat roles. You've been grading us on a curve designed for species that would need mobility assists on Earth. Engineering Chief R. Hill pulled up structural analysis reports, his antenna quivering. Commander, I've been analyzing the damage Martinez caused. The force required to create that crater. If she can generate that level of impact in our standard 0.73G training environment, what could she do at full Earth gravity? Or what has she been capable of this entire time, Kael'thas said quietly, that we've been calling inadequate? Vexthul's mandibles clicked in what might have been distress. Pull the records for every human cadet in the Academy. All physical assessments, all training results, all performance reviews. I want a complete analysis within the hour. Sir, Lirana said carefully, there are 47 human cadets currently enrolled. Then we have 47 cadets we've been catastrophically underestimating. Vexthul turned to Emma. Cadet Martinez, I need you to answer something honestly. When you caught that war beast, how much effort did that actually require? Emma tilted her head, considering. Like, maybe 6 out of 10? The tricky part was the angles, not the weight. If I'd been ready for it, probably 4 out of 10. She paused. Why? Is that bad? Every alien in the observation deck exchanged looks of profound existential dread. No, Cadet, Vexthul said faintly. That is not bad, that is terrifying. Lirana's datapad projected a holographic comparison chart above the observation deck. This is what we're dealing with, Commander. Earth, 9807 MS2 1.0 G standard. Galactic average, 7157 MS2 073 G. Difference, 372%. Every human in this academy evolved to function optimally in conditions 37% more demanding than our training environment, she continued, her feathers flat against her body. Their bone density isn't 0.67 on our scale because they're fragile. It's 0.67 because our scale is calibrated for species that evolved in lighter gravity. Proportionally, they're significantly denser than most of us. Zelax added his own projections. Their muscle attachment points, cardiovascular efficiency, skeletal load-bearing capacity, all of it evolved to overcome 37% more gravitational resistance with every single movement. Walking, standing, breathing on Earth requires more energy expenditure than the same actions here. Show me something measurable, Vexthol demanded. Something I can report to Galactic Command that proves this isn't an anomaly. Emma stood up in the arena below. You want a demonstration? Okay. How about a jump test? She bent her knees slightly. Standard vertical jump, no running start. Our Olympic record for your weight class is 1.8 meters, Kael'thas said, pulling up the data, held by a Drexian athlete for the past 9 years. Cool. Emma crouched and launched herself upward. She cleared 3 meters easily, her hands slapping the arena's lower structural beam before she dropped back down, landing with barely a sound. 3 meters, Azila whispered. She just exceeded our Olympic record by 67% in a casual demonstration. Emma brushed her hair back. That felt weirdly easy. Is your gravity lower than standard in here? Like, for safety reasons or something? This is our standard, R. Hill said hoarsely. 0.73 G. Galactic baseline normal. Oh, Emma processed that. So I've been doing all my training in what's basically 73% Earth gravity. She laughed again, shaking her head. Man, no wonder I kept feeling like I could run forever. It's like training at altitude but backwards. Vexthul activated the academy-wide channel. Attention all human cadets. Report to Combat Arena 7 immediately. This is not a drill or a disciplinary action. Just, please report. 15 minutes later, 47 confused human cadets stood in the arena. Emma waved at a few friends. I need honesty, Vexthul announced from above. Show of hands. How many of you have been holding back during physical training? Every single hand went up. Kael'thas felt his worldview crumbling into dust. A human male named Thomas raised his hand higher. Sir, permission to speak. We all thought we were the weak ones. The orientation briefing said humans were light world adapted and structurally delicate. I didn't want to hurt anyone, so I've been going maybe 40% on everything. 40%? Vexthul's voice was strangled. Same here, a human woman called Patricia added. I accidentally crushed a touchpad my first day. Figured I needed to be way more careful. Didn't realize you guys actually needed them that sensitive. Emma jumped in. Commander, can I explain something about Earth? Because I think there's been a huge miscommunication. She gestured enthusiastically. So rugby, that's a sport we play. 2 teams, minimal protective gear, full contact tackling at sprint speeds. People regularly hit each other with several thousand newtons of force, and we consider it recreational entertainment. The alien cadets who'd remained in the observation deck made collective sounds of horror. And that's just sports, Emma continued. Human construction workers routinely carry 30-40 kilograms of equipment up ladders all day. My grandmother runs a cattle ranch in Montana. She wrestles 500-kilogram steers for medical checks. Just grabs them and flips them over. She's 73 years old. Emma's grin was enormous now. I honestly thought all the academy training was just warm-ups before we got to the real stuff. Like foundation building. When do we start the actual combat curriculum? That was the actual combat curriculum, Kael'thas said weakly. Oh. Emma glanced at her fellow humans, several of whom were trying not to laugh. Oh, that's okay. That explains a lot, actually. I thought maybe aliens were just really big on taking things slow and steady. Didn't want to be the pushy human, you know. Vexthul straightened, his command training finally overriding his existential crisis. Effective immediately, all human cadets are removed from remedial physical training. Engineering. I need equipment specifications revised for human use. Assume load capacity needs to increase by minimum 200%. Combat curriculum will be restructured with separate brackets. He paused. And someone update the galactic database. Human classification changes from light world species to... He struggled for the right term. Heavy world species, Lirana suggested. Heavy world apex predators, Zilax corrected grimly. Let's be accurate. Emma raised her hand. Quick question, does this mean we can actually try now? Because I've been really bored in combat training. 46 other humans nodded enthusiastically. Kael'thas looked at Vexthul. The commander looked back. Both of them simultaneously thought about humanity being bored. Bored, while everyone else struggled through what they'd designed as intensive military training. We've been training them wrong, Vexthul said quietly. This entire time we've been training them wrong. No, sir, Emma said cheerfully. You've been training them right. You've been training us in easy mode. 3 days later, the Academy's combat arena looked like a construction zone. Engineering crews swarmed over new equipment installations, while our hill supervised with a datapad full of revised specifications. Triple reinforced deck plating in sections A through F, he called out, and I want those resistance machines rated for 400 kilograms minimum. If a human so much as looks at our old equipment, it needs to be able to handle it. Kael'thas walked past, carrying a stack of transfer requests, 47 requests from alien cadets, asking to be moved out of combat training sections that included humans. He'd approved 32 of them. The remaining 15 were stubborn enough or curious enough to want to see what humans could actually do. He suspected they'd be submitting transfers within a week. A new notice had been posted on every training facility wall. Safety protocol update. Effective immediately. Do not engage human cadets in physical competition without proper supervision and reinforced safety equipment. Do not challenge humans to tests of strength, endurance, or combat capability. Do not assume human physical limitations match your own species. Report any injuries resulting from human contact to medical immediately. Azila had added an addendum. Humans are not fragile. You are. Act accordingly. Emma Martinez had been officially designated as the demonstration subject for High-Gravity Species Physical Capabilities, a new course that Vexthul had mandated for all command track officers. She'd also been moved to advanced combat training, where the equipment was actually designed for her capabilities. She'd broken that equipment too. Engineering was still recalculating. Now, Emma emerged from the arena's equipment room, carrying a stack of training materials that would normally require an anti-grav sled, 50 kilograms of weight plates, tactical gear, and combat dummies, all balanced casually in her arms like she was carrying groceries. Hey, Instructor Kael'thas, she waved with one hand, not even wobbling under the load. Same time next week for combat practice? I heard you're bringing in a Crexian war mech for demonstration. Kael'thas's mandibles twitched. A Crexian war mech, designed for frontline planetary assault, weighing 2,000 kilograms. And he was genuinely uncertain whether Emma Martinez could take it in a fight. He was betting she could. Yes, Cadet Martinez. Show 800 standard time. Perfect. Emma shifted the stack to one arm so she could check her schedule on her datapad. That's right after xenobiology. Oh, speaking of, she grinned, my mom's coming for graduation next month. You should meet her. She's the one who taught me most of my grappling techniques. Emma's grin widened. Fair warning, though, she hits way harder than that Thoraxian beast. Ranch life, you know, makes you tough. Kael'thas tried to imagine someone who hit harder than Emma. His imagination failed him completely. I look forward to meeting her. Awesome. Emma headed toward the exit, then paused. Oh, hey, one more thing. That easy mode comment I made? I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. You guys have a great program here. It's just, you know. She shrugged, and the 50 kilograms of equipment didn't shift at all. Different baseline expectations, but now that we know what's up, I think everyone's gonna have a way better time. No more humans pretending to be tired. No more instructors thinking we're fragile. Win-win, right? She walked away whistling, the equipment stack not even slightly hindering her movement. Another human cadet, Thomas from the group demonstration, jogged up beside her. Yo, Emma, did you hear? They're letting us use the advanced training simulations now, the ones rated for special forces. Finally, Emma's laugh echoed down the corridor. I've been dying to actually try and combat sims. Think they'll let us adjust the gravity settings? I want to see what we can do at full Earth standard. Dude, we should totally request that. Imagine if we... Their voices faded as they rounded the corner, leaving Cadet standing alone in the renovated arena, surrounded by equipment designed to withstand forces that would have seemed impossible a week ago. He pulled up his teaching schedule for the next semester. There, highlighted in urgent red, was his new assignment: Human Physical Capability Assessment and Integration Strategies. He was going to need so much more training. In his office 3 levels above, Commander Vexthul put the finishing touches on his report to the Galactic Council. The document had taken him 2 full days to write, and he'd revised it 17 times to make sure he wasn't overstating the situation. He hadn't been overstating anything. If anything, he'd been too conservative. Priority: transmission to Galactic Council. Classification: urgent. Species reclassification required. Subject: immediate revision required. Human physical capacity. Classification: summary. Current database classifications for Homo sapiens, Terran, are fundamentally incorrect due to calculation error in baseline gravity assessment. Humans are not light world adapted species. They are heavy world organisms operating in what they consider reduced gravity environments. Key findings: Earth gravity, 1.0 g, is 37% higher than galactic average, 0.73 g. Human physical capabilities proportionally exceed most spacefaring species. Previous inadequate ratings resulted from humans deliberately limiting performance to avoid equipment damage and social friction. Actual human capacity: 200–400% above previously documented levels. Recommendations: immediate reclassification from light world species to heavy world apex predator species. Revision of all human integration protocols across military and civilian sectors. Updated equipment specifications for human use in all facilities. Mandatory briefings for all personnel working with human populations. Personal note: we have not been training humans wrong. We have been training them in conditions they consider recreational difficulty. They have been politely accommodating our limitations while we mistakenly believed we were accommodating theirs. They've been training us. Respectfully submitted, Commander Vexthul, Galactic Military Academy. He transmitted the report and leaned back in his chair. Through his window, he could see Emma Martinez and 3 other human cadets heading toward the academic buildings. One of them was juggling 3 10-kilogram weight plates while walking and laughing. Just another Tuesday at the academy. Vexthul pulled up his personal log and added one final note: humanity is going to change everything we thought we knew about warfare, exploration, and physical possibility. Not because they're trying to, just because for them, our impossible is their normal. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I can't wait to see what they do next. The end.